There we go. There we go. Hello, hello. Let's see. Who do we got? Curtis, Carroll, Tampa, Daryl, Deemer. What's going on, buddy? Matt, welcome. Audra, Fish Tank Barn, Lee, welcome. Yeah, a couple minutes late. You can blame Corey. He messaged me a couple minutes ago, so we had to chat for a second. Made me late. K-Stu, what's going on, buddy? Oh my gosh. Let's see here. Brian, hello, hello. I was man, trying to clean off my desk, and now I've just got crap everywhere. It never is a simple job. I am a clutter master, if there's such a word for that. I've got clutter everywhere. I hate it. I hate it so much. I don't know why I do it, but I do. Alec, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you. When Corey calls, it's if Corey actually calls on the phone, then something is seriously wrong. That is for sure. Corey, like myself, we both hate phone calls. If there's something that needs to be happen and it needs a phone call to be taken care of, it's not going to get taken care of. It's just well. And speaking of which, now I need to exit out of this because I'm still getting messages. Okay, sorry about that. All right, now someone's banging around outside. Probably Amazon, of course. Someone is bleeding and dying if Corey actually calls, or you are being fired. Does Corey actually do the firing? I don't know. Actually. I don't know. Random phone calls are the worst. I say all. I repeat, all phone calls are the worst. I hate talking on the phone. As a matter of fact, I was getting set up with the new fish wholesaler, and they were just like, give us a call, we'll get you set up. And I'm like, never mind. No need. I'm not going to call. I'm not. There's no reason to call. I hate it so much. Paul says, I tidy everything up and I end up the same in a few days. Yeah. Although I did find this really old $20 bill. Well, it's not really old, but it's the older style. 1981. So I'll hold on to that. I'm lying. It'll probably just end up cluttered on my desk again. So much crap. No reason to call. That's what chat and messenger are for. Yeah. I'll admit, though. I do call my mom. That's it. The only exception. Matt, what's going on? You dropped that 20? Yeah, did you drop it 20 years ago on my desk? I collect all these. If I got an old $100 bill out of the ATM, and I kept it. I had to. I love old currency. But that just meant that what I needed the $100 for now cost $200 because I had to take another 100 out. I'll text my brother something quick, and he will always call me back to answer. Drives me nuts. Yeah, where's your? I feel like I haven't seen your brother in a while. What's up with that? Did I offend him? I have to call my mom. She doesn't do messages. Yeah, it used to be that way with my dad. My dad about 2 years ago figured out text messages, so that's been nice. Although he also figured out emojis. So yeah, that's been fun. Carol Cox, hello. BJ Carol, we might get up into the 30s next week, so cross your fingers. I might send it out next week. JCCX? I don't know what that is. That was your cat? What? Did I set this up for anyone to see it? We've got a lot of people here. I might have set this public again, but with only member chat. But oh well. He's probably addicted to some show or something, like The Office. I'm up to season 5, and I think season 5 is like the pinnacle, the peak. Like that is, I think season 5 is the best. Whoa, dude, you got an A7 too? That's sweet, Fish Room. ABQ. I want the A7 4 or 5, but it's gonna be a while before I have like $4,000 to drop on a camera. But whatever. Eventually. Oh, he crawls. Oh, okay, that was your cat typing. I thought you meant that's your cat's name. I was like, what a weird name. Oh man. Trailer Park Boys season 1 through 7. Never seen it. Never seen it. You finished it last night. What do you think of the series premiere? I think it's one of the best series premiere of any show of all time. One of the best all-time series premiere of any whatever. You know what I mean. You do not want the R5. I think it's probably better than my 1080p Panasonic. Although I will say, I've recently just been shooting videos with my phone, Matt, and it looks way better than both my Sony 6400 and the Panasonic. So, and it's only a Note 9. So the issue I have with these cameras is that I never get like the whole thing in focus, right? It's always like one, maybe two fish, but not the whole fish tank. For some reason, the phone gets everything in focus, and yeah, it may not be like a 4K video, but to me, it still looks better just having everything in focus. And I don't know. I was actually talking to Corey about that about a week ago, and he was saying it's that because of the aperture or something. You would think being on YouTube for like 7 years, I would know about cameras, but I don't even know what aperture does. So I just take his word for it. Finale. He's like, Michael, you came. That's what she said. It's so good. Because you're not using aperture. Okay, so yeah, okay. All right. Well, how do I use aperture? I don't know. I have no idea. I'm literally the worst photographer ever. And I think dumbing down to a phone might be my best move at this point. I don't know. Apparently the new iPhone is supposed to be pretty crazy, but I'll never go Apple. The lower the aperture, the less you have in focus. So how do I get the most aperture? Is it lens then? Do I need a different lens? I only have 2 lenses for my camera. I don't know. Lee says, I didn't want a cat, but my 4-year-old daughter who watches this and says, nailed it, wanted one. So now I have a cat. I no longer have Pothos. Ooh. They don't like Monstera either. Man, if a cat came in here and started mowing down my plants, I would be pissed. The camera's a little lower today. I just noticed I don't see these plants. Interesting. Very interesting. I've been moving a lot of stuff around. It's crazy. Matt, what's going on? Last week I told you my Costae weren't schooling and you said you kept yours alone. I removed some more active fish and now the Costae are schooling beautifully with the Congos. Awesome. Matt, what I wanted to ask you, and I totally forgot. Well, I didn't forget. I didn't even think about this till like days later as I'm sitting here looking at mine. How large is your school? Because I've got 44. No, one died. So I've got 43 in here. And obviously, the more numbers you have, the better they're going to school or shoal, school, whatever. I know they're different. It's like your kids grew up and married each other. It's every parent's dream. It's so good, so good. What lens am I using? Maybe a macro? No, a macro will definitely not get everything in focus. I don't have a macro lens, but a macro would get like half of a fish in focus if that's all that's in frame, right? Or like the head, the face, the eyeballs. Um, I don't have a macro lens, but I have this thing that Swisky Jimmy gave me that goes on here. Whatever this little doodad is, I don't know. Just says 16 millimeter on it. But if I slap this on any of my lenses, it turns it into a macro lens. So, but even then, it's just like, I don't know. It doesn't really focus that well. You control aperture in body. F5.6 will likely get the most of what you want in focus. F8 through F11 will definitely get in focus, but you need to raise ISO, which can introduce noise. Yeah. I think I remember that. Oh, yeah, I only have 10 going to breed them, though. Aiming for 100. That would be sweet. Sweet. Cheap junk. Yeah, I know. It's only... I looked it up on Amazon. It's only a couple bucks, but I mean, it works. Like, for a guy who doesn't want to spend $2,000... Honest, I would spend, like, $2,000 on a lens if I knew what I was doing. But I don't. I'm definitely like a point and click. That's why this one... That's why this camera was so good to me. Because it's point and shoot. Like, I set the settings once. Well, Jimmy set the settings once, and I never had to touch it, and it always just worked. Yeah, I don't know. My camera came with a wide lens and a telephoto lens. Also, like 10 different color shades that can go over the lens. I think that's, yeah. I have some of those things. I knew nothing about cameras until yesterday. I have learned so much. I think my problem is just I'm not really into like photography or videography, right? I'm like more into the fish. Like Jimmy and like obviously Matt, like this is like what you guys do. Like you are totally into it. Me, I could really care less. I'm just like, I just want to film my fish. I don't care about this, that, or the other. I'm just not into it. It's like it's not a separate hobby for me. So it's like you could tell me the settings and it's just like whoop whoop right out the other side. I quit bugging Jimmy because I used to message Jimmy like every other month. I'm like, man, I was messing with the settings. What do I need them to be again? He's like, take a screenshot of this and save it. Oh man. Do I ever keep angels with bows? If so, what temp do you keep the tank at for the angels? So I had Leopoldite angels for a couple years that I kept with rainbows, and I still kept it at 75-ish, 76 degrees. I never raised the temperature for angels. My theory or what I believe is that angels spawn when the temperatures rise, right? And in my experience, when you increase the temperatures, they want to spawn, which makes them more aggressive. You keep them cool, they never want to spawn. They just chill out. They're not aggressive at all. So I just kept them, room temperature, whatever the temperature was in my fish room. And I never had an issue. And I don't know, maybe Leopoldite angels are not as aggressive as others. I don't know. I'm not really a huge fan of angels to begin with. But that was my experience. Keep them cool, and they won't get angry. They won't fight each other, things like that. Paul says, I used to find my DSLR a pain because I used to be changing lenses all the time. I think I could have done with a different lens. I'm not a fan of changing lenses. I have the 6400, and it's just my live stream camera now because it's a pain. I try to fake it till I make it with my camera. Definitely need to spend more time. Yeah, because you have like an A7. You have one of the A7s too, right? When I was in Wyoming, well, I should say when I was at Dan's, he let me use his A7, and it was like, that thing is pretty stupid proof. Like, I don't know what lens he was using. He had some big lens, big expensive lens, and it was just like, everything point and click. There was like a little slide button on if I wanted to make it macro or something, and it was just easy. That was it. I didn't have to mess with the settings. Like everything just looked good, and that's kind of the only reason I want one of the A7s is because, like, I used Jimmy's a couple years ago for pictures, and it was just like, wow, man, this thing is making me look like a pro. And then I used it again at Dan's, and I was like, man, I got to get one of these. I got to get one. But then I just film with my phone, and it's so much easier. So, you know, I definitely need a new phone because I have a Note 9. I don't know how old that is. I traded 4 Zebra Plecos for this phone. You know, it was $1,000 when it came out, so you know, I thought it was a pretty good deal. You miss Wyoming? So do I, my friend. So do I. Aren't you moving there? I thought maybe. I don't know. Listening while putting a meatloaf together. Oh, and welcome to everyone who was gifted memberships last week from Alexander. Pretty awesome. Well, don't get me wrong, I love when everyone shows up, but it's cool to see the gifted people show up. You're all very gifted. Oh, man. Okay, so I have a question about what I'm assuming is Popeye, the Sailor Man. What's the best way to treat it? I have 2 fish that have a blister-looking thing over the eye. I know I have probably asked before, but I forget. So anytime I have eye issues with fish, I take them out. I keep them I separate them by themselves. Even if there's like multiples. If I got like 2, I won't keep those 2 together. I'll keep them in their own separate tanks, and the only thing I do is give them like crystal clean water. Crystal clean? I think I was going crystal clear, but super duper clean water, and it's always just cleared up. I've never done meds. It happens a lot with puffers where their eyes start to glaze over, and so it's like, get them in some super clean water. You know, rainbows. I've ton of eye injuries with rainbows. Usually it's from them crashing into stuff like idiots. Separate them, give them just really clean water. There's 71 people here. I wonder if this is public, because that's a lot. Alex says, I'm gifted in every sense of it. Think the crazy hyena from The Lion King. I want hyenas so bad. I found a guy on TikTok that like has his whole like school of hyenas, and they all just are one big happy family. It's pretty awesome. Regina Phalanges. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. If this is not public, then this is definitely a new record for the most in a members only stream. Lita Blasio says, I just butchered your last name. I'm sorry. I keep seeing an L there, and I know it's an I, but 71 people, 8 likes. I don't ask for likes on the members only stream because it doesn't do anything. At least I don't think it does anything, right? In a regular stream, the theory is every time you hit like, it sends out a new notification. Doesn't really matter to members because they can't come to it anyways. So Matt says, we want to move to Wyoming. Yes, we'll move if certain things fall into place. Same here, my friend. Same here. Honestly, if I had an actual real job, I probably would have moved already. I can see the viewer count. It's public for view, just members for chat. All right, whatever. Welcome, non-members. Maybe you'll get a peek of this, and maybe you'll want to join. I don't know. Whatever. You got me curious. I was hoping to set a record, but you just shattered my dreams. Thanks, Zenny. I appreciate it. You are a dream crasher, not a dream weaver. I don't know why it does that. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Anyone can just come on in. All right. Welcome. Okay, cool. Looks like I'm doing water changes tonight. I have an Abuna and a Molly with it. Are they in the same tank? I mean, they could go together just fine. Just not something I see very often. Used to keep a bunch of DD and other domestic scalar Angels 75 degrees, they play nice. 80 degrees, they squabble and want to breed. If Alex says that's the truth right there. I'm glad. That was my experience too. Nice to see I got an answer right for once. I've had a really bad headache all day, so I busted out the caffeine. I don't know, but it worked. Headache's pretty much gone. I saw something about corridors in here somewhere. Where did it go? I thought I saw something about corridors. Oh, here you go. Corridors on Eco Complete, too sharp. If you would have asked me like 3 years ago, I would have said just fine. But now that I've really like deep dived into corridors, I will never keep them on Eco Complete again. I've got all these corys right to the left of me, all on sand. They've got all their barbells, like nothing's been rubbed off. It's a huge difference. Janice, welcome, says this is the first time I've caught a members only live stream. Awesome. Well, welcome. I find it interesting. Over the last, I think, like 2 months, this has been open to everyone. And the last time, I think there was more people in the pre-stream than the actual stream. There was over 100 people in the member stream. And there was like 120 in the actual stream. So, I don't know. Kind of weird. Very interesting, I think. So, yeah. Lee, I'll never do it again. I'm not going to, like, shame people that put corys on Eco Complete. I did it for many, many, many years. But now, sand is the only thing I'll do with corys going forward. How can I tell which goodieads I got from Dan? The invoice said butterfly split fin, but the bags were labeled trout goodieads. You can send me a picture and I'll tell you. Or I mean, you could probably send a message to Johnny, or Dan. I don't know if you have his email. But if you just send me a picture, I can tell you. It's they're not exactly similar looking fish, but did he have split fin? I was actually looking on his site, and he has some corridors for sale that I kind of want. Let's see. Split fin. Oh, duh. Amica splendens. Yeah, duh. Of course. So Amica splendens are going to be more rotund. Rotund. They're more, I guess, oval shape, whereas trout goodieads are more like cylindrically shaped. Take heated of. Yeah, if you send me a picture, I'll let you know. Oh, and also going back to corridors, I'm thinking of getting some panda corys. Wait, same here, Zen? Wait, what? What does Zen say now? Oh my god, trout goodieads, I'm still sad. I know. Oh, anyways, the corridors that are on sale. Don't go, okay. If you're gonna go and buy them if you want, but, you know, save some for me. Which ones were they? I think they were 62. CW 62. Really, really good price. I'm probably gonna make them the fish of the week, for the next stream. Even though I don't, you know, I kind of want to buy them myself, but yeah, the CW 62. Take a look at these. Any Corydora with like, that's kind of considered like a flagtail, right? The stripes. Any Corydora with that flagtail, I just love. And I've been looking at these for $25 for like a good month and a half now, like going back and forth, and now they're only $15, and I'm just like, ooh, I really shouldn't be buying fish, but that's a really good price for a somewhat rare Corydoras that you don't see very often. And they have those like really rounded snouts. They don't have the long snouts like some of the other Corys. Shame he only has one picture. I wonder if I have footage of these. I mean, let me check my B-roll. I don't remember if these were there when I was there. Videos, B-roll, Corydoras, 62. Ooh, I do have video of them. Ooh. Very interesting. How can I do this now? I don't think I can show this to you without really messing up my settings. But anyways, I'm still man, contemplating. Might have to ask Santa for some. Santa Claus might send me some 62s. We'll see. Maybe oops, that's not the right one. Maybe old Clarky here, Clark W. Griswold, can send me some. Okay, where's my chat? Here we go. Bob, are you still looking for gold laser Corys? If so, I have a local breeder that breeds them for me for my shop. I can easily send you some if you would like. Yeah, man. What's the going rate on those? If you don't want to say here, shoot me an email, steenfottaquatics@gmail.com, and let me know if you don't want to say here how much they are. No, they're not in the same tank. I don't have 2 extra tanks, so I could use a divider and 20 long for both fish. Yes. So the reason I keep them separated is so that there's no like picking, like they don't try to like, gouge out their eyes or, it's so I get it. It would be pretty rare for that to happen, but why give them the chance to do it, even if it's on accident? So the only reason I keep fish with eye issues separate is so they don't get pecked at. Like sometimes they'll get like maybe some white fungus on there and they'll get picked at a little bit. So that's why. So you could definitely keep them in the same tank with the divider, no problem. The remaining 5 stir-bys that arrived sick are going to be fine. That is great news. How many did you get total? I was able to save 4 out of 24 punctatus, 4 rebootii out of 18 that I ordered, and all of my melonized died. All 24. I ordered 24 melonized. They all died. So I spent $200 and some and ended up with 8 Corydoras. Pretty awesome. Pretty sweet. Pretty happy about that. K-Stu says, my goal is to have a koi pond eventually. What is something in the hobby you'd eventually want to get but can't at this time due to whatever it is? Time, space, money. I mean, it's just more Corydoras, honestly. Actually what I've been looking at getting into, though, in addition to Corydoras, is our rice fish. I love just about everything. I can't think of anything I don't like about rice fish. And so now that Dan is not selling them, I'm thinking maybe I can get some, breed them, and sell them. But I don't have the money and I don't have the space or the time right now. Like I'm dedicating a lot to this Corydoras project. So yeah, that's where I'm at there. I watched the first Christmas movie yesterday. The first Christmas movie? What's the first Christmas movie? I'm not ashamed to admit it. I've been watching Christmas movies for like the last week and a half. I'll send you an email here in a bit. Yeah, let me know. Probably not the best time to ship either. But yeah, let me know. I'd be curious. And that goes for anyone who's breeding any Corridoras. If you want to sell me some, just send me an email. Steenfottaquatics@gmail.com. Let me know your price, what you do for shipping, and yeah. Alex Gonzalez says rice fish may be the next fish to go in my IBC tote pond or longfin cherry barbs. Dan is back to selling rice fish. Oh my gosh, Dan, what are you doing to me, buddy? Oh yeah, they're not on sale anymore. Some are. Does he have? Well, I was specifically looking at the koi Medaka rice fish. I don't see those on his site, so that'll be all right. And I would just alternate. Like, I'm never gonna sell. Well, it'll be different because I'm actually breeding them. That's what I want on my website is only fish that I breed, or shrimp that I breed. So I don't think there's really any conflict of issues. Like if I breed pandacories and sell some, while he has some on his site, I don't think he would care. Dan's gonna make you go broke. I watched the new Christmas Story Christmas. I've never watched a. Is it a Christmas Story? Did you hear the frog? I haven't heard the frog in like 5 days. I thought it finally died. What is this dude eating? Is he eating my fish? I have no idea. Can rice fish withstand 72 degrees? Like 99% of them can, no problem, and they can go even colder. When did who said that? Was that who said that he's selling rice fish again? Where'd that go? I missed the last 2 live streams, I'm not gonna lie, so I'm sure I'm way behind on what's going on over there. Leaning rice fish so I can breed them and shrimp in the same space. See, that's what I'm not sure of. I feel like an adult rice fish is big enough. It's the sequel to Christmas Story. Yeah, I haven't seen that one either, which, like, everyone always goes crazy when I tell them I haven't seen it, but I don't know why. I've just never been interested. Like, I love Christmas. I love Christmas movies. I've just never been interested in that one. I don't know why. But anyways, I feel like a full-grown adult rice fish could easily eat shrimplets, like little baby shrimps. So I don't know. Thanks to whomever made me aware that Dan had trout goodieads. Thanks much. That was me. Got 8 little boogers swimming around with 4 misnamed Medaka. So happy to have them again. Yeah. Wait, are they back in stock? Trout. Nope, not in stock. Taiwan hill trout? I remember these. Bob, what species are albino cories? Aren't they? I could be wrong, but aren't they just albino anus? I thought they were just albino anus, but I could be wrong. Let's see if I can double check that real quick, unless someone's just going to correct me first. Yeah, they're just Aenis. Corridors Aenis. Leo209 says, should I get a hairy puffer or a Congo puffer? I have kept both, so I'm sure you're aware of their requirements. I would, like, obviously a hairy puffer is way more expensive than a Congo, so if price is not an issue, I would go hairy. But Congos are a pretty rewarding species too. But hairy, I mean, they look like aliens. They're just insane. Do I drink beer? I do not drink alcohol. I still have way way down on the bottom shelf here. You can see how dusty this is. This is the last alcohol I have ever drank. Was this much. I drank one of these and then half of these in one night, and bad things happened, and I haven't drank ever since. And this is my little reminder. So about 6 years ago, I've had this now. That's my little drinking souvenir, I guess. So yeah, I haven't drank in a very long time. I thought albino corridors were stir-by. No, they have yellow on the fins like my stir-by, but I'm probably wrong. Yeah, you could just one of the main like things is like you could tell by the price. Albino stir-bys would not be cheaper than stir-bys. So albinos are one of the cheapest corridoras. So let's look here. Well, that might be maybe a little extreme, but they're one of the more inexpensive species for sure. Sometimes you can get them at like Petco or PetSmart for just a couple dollars if they're having some crazy sale. Needed some oxygen there. Enos, like the deputy on Duke's. I would really like to hear somebody else pronounce corridors Enos. Like, is that right? Enos? Nobody ever talks about them, I feel like, because they're just, I mean, Enos are the cheapest corridors out there. Nice job. I'm proud of you, Mang. Yeah, just quit cold turkey. I was like, that's enough for me. There was many reasons why I quit, but there was definitely one really main reason for sure. Paleotis. So there are stir-bys. So how would, man, I feel like albino stir-bys are really rare. You might have albino stir-bys then. Mr. Kumanov definitely is like a fish encyclopedia. So yeah, I take his word for it. You might have albinos then, or albino stir-bys. Most of the ones I see, like PetSmart, Petco, if they're like $5, if they're around that price range, more than likely they're just Enos. Bob, which is more active, and what do you feed both of as your go-to food, or how do you keep yours? Wait. None of them. Well, I was about to say none of them are active. The hairy puffer is going to be a little bit more active because the hairy puffer will actually, while it is technically like an ambush puffer, it will still cruise around every once in a while to try to find food. The Congo puffer will just burrow and sit forever. Like it never moves. Well, that's a little exaggeration, but neither of them are active fish at all. So just keep that in mind. The hairy puffer you will catch the hairy puffer like hovering around. They also don't burrow like the dragon puffer or the Congo puffer. So I would, if I was forced to choose one, I would say the hairy puffer is more active, but it's still not an active fish at all by any means. My LFS, I sold my LFS 50 green Aenis that I bred and hated asking if you wanted them. I'm actually ordering some Aenis, so just because I need to check it off my list, right? I need to breed them. I'm ordering Paleotis. I've already bred them, but I'm starting fresh. So I know before I said if I've bred them in the past, I'm not going to breed them again. But I decided, you know what? I'm going to start with a clean slate. I'm going to show everything. And so, yeah, I'm going to go with Paleotis that I bred. I bred stir-bys, so I'm still going to breed some stir-bys and just basically start over. Doesn't the hairy puffer hunt? I think I saw that in your video. Yes, so they will learn like that I am the bringer of food. Um, so if they're hungry and I throw shrimp in, they will hunt them around. But if you throw shrimp in and they're not hungry, they're just still just gonna sit there. But they'll get used to seeing you, and they'll actually come to the front of the tank with no matter what, just because they know that you're giving them food. Whereas the Congo puffer is still just gonna stay. At least now I've only kept one, so not a ton of experience there. But that thing just stayed burrowed all the friggin' time, even when I fed. But if I was to like sneak in and like poke my head in the fish room around the door and look at my hairy puffer, it's always just sitting there. But once he sees me, then he starts cruising around. So at least you get that. Zen Ginger says, I'm not really a fan of albino fish either, but if you've ever seen albino Denson barb or albino threadfin acaras, those are cool AF. Yeah, I'm not a huge albino person myself, especially when it comes to plecos. Plecos are like, I don't mind the albino Aeginus. I'm probably going to buy some just so I can breed them. But like, I don't know what it is. Like albino bushy nose plecos, I just don't like him at all. Most albino plecos I do not like. Matthew Vargas says, did I hear Congo puffer? Yes, but we're not talking about the spotted Congo puffer. At least I assume we're not talking about the spotted Congo puffer. Maybe we should clarify. Leo, are you talking about the spotted Congo puffer or the Congo puffer? What else did I feed besides shrimp and snails to the hairy puffer? That was it. That's all. That's all I ever fed. I think I tried frozen bloodworms once without much success. Shrimp, they love shrimp. So get yourself, find like the cheapest cherry shrimp if you don't have any, and just start breeding them. They love them. I prefer chocolate and super red bristlenose. I mean, I do. Again, I'm not a fan of longfin fish either, but I do really like the green dragons. That's one of my few exceptions. Same with the longfin Aeginus. I say anus like every time. I hate it. Aeginus. I do like the longfin. And interestingly enough, I do not like longfin Paleatus. I don't know. Don't ask me why. That's I just don't. My bad. Spotted Congo puffer is the one that Dan sells. Okay. So if we're talking about the Shidontai, however you pronounce it, that's going to be a tougher call. So the spotted Congo puffer I would buy only if I plan to get more, because they're more of a community fish. So hairy puffer, definitely species only. It'll murder any other fish in the tank. A spotted Congo puffer will be just fine with all the other fish, and you can actually keep them in a group. They like to be in a group. So, if you're going to spend $200 now, maybe in 6 months you buy another one, like every whatever your budget is, get yourself a nice little group of them. I believe Matthew Vargas actually has a group of them. Shouted in eye. But the hairy puffer is my favorite, and I'm going to tell you I have been unsuccessful all 3 times I've tried. I've never been able to keep one past a year. Just one of those fish I've never had good luck with. I do know someone local to me that's had one for like 8 years. It's in a 40 breeder all by itself. I have not been able to. I mean, to be honest, I've had bad luck with all puffers. This is why I don't do puffers anymore. One of my dream tanks is like 200 pea puffers, but I don't want that food bill, so I'll never do it. But I don't know. Like, I mean, I had pretty good luck with Steen until he with little Steen until he prolapsed, which I get is pretty rare. I don't even know how you avoid something like that, but it's still like that was the one that was kind of like, maybe I'm not going to do puffers for a while. I can't. Otter says, my dragon puffers just spawned for the 2nd time in 3 weeks. That's crazy. Darren, welcome to the Dream Team, buddy. Awesome. How could you not like that face? That looks almost exactly like my dog. My little pit mix. Sorry for the repeat question. I never have to apologize for asking. I wish we had more questions, to be honest. This is like the 2-hour streams, like they're fun, but they go off the rails just because there's hardly any fish questions. So I don't ever apologize for repeat or noob questions or whatever. There's no bad questions here. So anyways, sorry for the repeat question, but 180 with eco-complete rainbow fish. What would you put in the bottom if not for Corridoras? Thanks, mans. I would go loaches. Loaches for sure. Depending on how big you want to go, like dwarf chain loaches are amazing. Super cool. Schooling little loach that only gets about 3 inches. And they're awesome. Look up dwarf chain loach if you're not familiar with them. Now they're kind of spendy. So, a school of them is going to cost you a little bit. So keep that in mind. But, you can just buy 3 and then, like I said, as your budget allows, just keep buying a few at a time. And eventually you'll have some. Chain loach. They're usually in that right around $15. Let me see. Yeah, $15.99. Actually on sale at Dan's Fish right now, $15.99. I saw somewhere. I think maybe Aquabid or someone was selling for like $27 each, and I was like, whoa, that's getting a bit extreme. I love it when it goes off the rails. Yeah, I mean that's okay. Like it's fun. But I think we lose a fair amount of viewers. Off topic, but do you go raw for your dogs, Bob? Yes, I can't imagine your food being cheap with those big boys. It is actually cheaper for me to feed raw than it is to feed kibble. I do keep kibble around for when I'm gone and I have to have somebody watch him because I don't expect someone else to feed my dog raw because it's a time commitment. And if I was still working like full time, I probably wouldn't feed raw because it's a really big time commitment for like one person and 3 dogs. It can be a bit much, but since I'm a homeless bum, I have plenty of time. You are just listing my I want some list. Greg Sage has gotten his green dragon long fins looking spectacular. Short fins aren't green dragons. I know. I hate when people like sometimes on Aquabid you'll see like short fin green dragons. I'm like, if it's got short fins, it's not a dragon. Like it's just a green bushy nose pleco. I'm right there with you. Man. Matthew, the key to feeding raw is finding a good butcher. I have a really good butcher about 20 minutes away, and they actually sell dog food. They make their own raw dog food, so I'm really lucky. It's about $2.50 a pound, which is right on par with like actually or even cheaper than like a good quality kibble. You figure like some of these 30-pound bags of kibbles are like $80, $90, $100. So you're right there at like 2.5. But even the money you spend now, you'll save later on in vet bills from them eating kibble and destroying their guts, or allergies, or all. I mean, just kibble is just awful. Nothing better than a quality butcher. I agree. I got lucky. Technically, I do have 2 good butchers. Just one is like way more expensive than the other, which is crazy because they're like 10 minutes apart. But somehow, like this one is, don't get me started. They're way more expensive. They're way less convenient. That doesn't make sense. I'm selling convict juveniles for $32 each. Well, I did last night in a dream. Then I woke up and realized I should have stuck to just a male. Yep. You are not homeless. The shack you write your manifestos in out in the wilderness is your home. That is true. I can't say I'm homeless. Last year I could say I was homeless. This year, I can't say that anymore. That's very convenient. Yeah. So they sell it. what is it? I don't know. It's already in a tube. It's 80% or 75% ground beef, like 80-20 ground beef, and then the other 25% is organ meat, which is really nice because organ meat is very crucial if you're feeding raw. And then you have to, you do have to feed like bones and things like that. And it takes a long time to like get it right because every dog is different. You really have to pay attention to their poop, and that will tell you exactly what you need. If it's too runny, you need bones. If it's white and clumpy, they're getting way too many bones. So just little things like that will tell you exactly what they need. How long does it take you to prepare a raw diet meal for your pups? It's no different than like opening a can of wet food. Since, like I said, since my butcher sells it already in tubes. I think they sell it in like 5 pounds at a time, and I don't know, but it's like it's about $150 a month for all 3 dogs, for just like the raw meat. And the bones are like bones at a butcher are just dirt cheap, really, really dirt cheap. I feed like blueberries, but I get the blueberries for free. Blueberries are everywhere out here. So there's other stuff that I'll mix in there too, give treats, things like that. But I'm very fortunate that I have access to all this stuff for really, really cheap. Eggs, I feed full eggs, so shell and everything. The Doberman doesn't like shells, but the Mastiff, he eats them like chips. I just bought a big ass grinder and found some rabbit on sale, so I bought like 6 of those and stocked them in the freezer. But these cats aren't eating nothing close. How much your dogs do? How much your dogs do? Matthew Vargas, did you get your Bengal kittens? Yes, he did. I seen him. So I think one thing you'll be really surprised from going raw food is how much they don't eat, how little they eat, how little water they barely drink water. Like kibble really dehydrates your dogs, right? I mean, it's no different than like fish food, right? Except dogs aren't swimming in water to absorb what they need. So, you throw your pellet of fish food in the water and it expands. Kibble is doing that in their stomach. So imagine eating like a whole bowl of kibble and then just having it expand in your stomach and it's just sucking up all the water, all the moisture in your body, and it's depriving your body of that water. So they drink a ton when they eat kibble. When they eat raw, I mean, the only reason I have to fill the bowl every day is to keep the water fresh. Like 3 of them won't even go through a bowl of water. Regular dog food is getting quite pricey. It cost me $47 for a 40-pound bag. Yeah, and that's pretty cheap. That's pretty cheap. If you watch this movie, Chevy Chase blows me away every time. When Clark and Eddie are shopping, you see like the bags of dog food, like 40-pound bags of dog food, $6.99, $5.99, $7.99. Ugh. When I first got my Husky, I could get a 40-pound bag of kibble for $13.99 at Fred Meyer's. But yeah, they're really taking advantage of pet people who like really want to do well by their pets. Like and you know that when they go on sale for like 75% off and they're still making a profit. So it's crazy. Bob, get it together. I didn't typo anything, bud. Lay off the bacon. Funny, I just had a ton of bacon yesterday. A ton. I was like, I'm going to make all this bacon and then I'll have bacon all week. And then I ate it all yesterday. Lesson learned. I'm not making huge batches of bacon ever again. I just bought a big ass grinder and found some rabbit on sale, so I bought like 6 of those and stocked them in the freezer, but these cats aren't eating nothing close to how much your dogs do. Okay. Well, my dogs, you're right. I read it wrong. You're right. But my dogs are all over 100 pounds. Your cats are like 2 pounds. Of course they're not going to. Like, what are you talking about? Of course they're not going to eat that much. What are you doing? I imagine those big dogs go through a ton of kibble. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's more expensive. Like when I went to Aquashella, when I was at Dan's for a week, I had to buy kibble. Um, and the bad part is like, um, Chance, my pit mix, he's allergic to like every kind of kibble, so I have to buy like really expensive kibble for him. He put loads on the right. He puts the light bulbs on, and then Eddie just slams a 40-pound bag of dog food on the light bulbs. Sitting in the office with a plate of grilled bacon. Call my man Dwight just to see what was shaking. Meatloaf is in the oven. Back to chat. Oh, that sounds good. I'm sure the dogs are getting fresh treats in your yard. This stupid Mastiff eats dirt. Like, I cannot turn my back on him because he'll dig up the grass and then he'll start chewing on the dirt. It's, man, it's and I haven't had grass now for I think like 2 weeks. Like, I've been snowed under for about 2 weeks. So I haven't had to worry about it lately. But yeah, like clumps of dirt. Loose dirt, nothing. But if it's in a clump, then he'll pick it up and start chewing on it. It's the damnedest thing. They do chase after all the rabbits, but they haven't caught one yet. It's such a funny movie. It's great. I watch it every single Christmas. I was thinking, like, I'm going to wear this every live stream for the rest of the month. That's how much. It's a shame that he's kind of a douchebag in real life. That kind of disappointed me. But, you know, you're not always going to love your heroes, as they say. My bad for not knowing, but all your dogs boys? I don't expect anyone to know that, but yes. We are a 4-man bachelor pad. And it's as messy as you would think. It's not like disgustingly messy, but there's dog toys everywhere. Recently they absolutely shredded my comforter, and I'm still like finding random, like, what is it, cotton? I don't know what's in comforters, but whatever that fluffy material is, like, I'm still finding it all over the place. It's ridiculous. You should see what dogs eat in a horse barn. A horse barn? Yeah, Kate Stu. So all of these dogs I've brought home from volunteering at the shelter. So the shelter knows about all my dogs being male. So when I got the Doberman, they almost see, like, there's someone calling me right now. Like, I'm not gonna answer. Like, I don't care who you are. Well, like I said, if it was my mom, I would answer. But that's it. So anyways, so they know that I already had all males. Well, my other two, all two were males. So they were like, we don't know if we don't feel comfortable giving you another male, having 3 males that are all, you know, a Mastiff, a Doberman, and a Pit Bull. And I'm like, trust me, I got it. Like, it's not a big deal. I can do it. I know what I'm doing. One of the things that kind of irritated me when I was volunteering as a vet assistant. So I was assisting the vet, obviously, right? Duh. What did she say? So I handle all the big dogs, but they were like, oh, he's too careless with the big dogs. And I'm like, what are you talking about? They're like, oh, the big dogs, they're going to bite him because he doesn't hold them tight enough. They wanted me to, like, bear hug these dogs. And I was just like, it's not necessary. Like, clearly, I don't know. And guess what? It never happened. Like, we never had an issue. The most violent, like, warning signs all over the door, like, do not enter, do not walk this dog, do not enter, do not feed, do not water, no one is allowed in here. I went in there and we were best buds. I took her out into the yard. She was a huge English Mastiff, like 180-ish pounds, like gigantic. And I slowly opened the kennel, and she was like in the back corner, totally like growling, and I just walked to the other corner and I just sat there. And eventually, it took like a half hour. It took a long time, but eventually she came over. She started sniffing me, and like another half hour later, she let me pet her. Then she let me put the leash on. I took her outside, and we literally were like rolling around in the sun. We were playing fetch, and I literally like laid down, and she came over and like laid right on top of me. I'm like, I'm the dog whisperer, dude. Screw that other guy. Like, what's his name? I don't know, but I don't know, man. I can connect with dogs. What can I say? Bob, what do you think of farmer dog food? I see a lot of people using it now. I don't know what that is, to be honest. Farmer dog food? I'm not sure. My standard schnauzer used to eat dirt. She was weird. Yeah, at least I don't have any dogs that eat poop. That would be disgusting. I would have guessed 3 males would be better than 2 males and a female, or vice versa. Interesting. There was definitely some figuring out like who's who when I brought him home, but it was nothing bad. I still really want that hat. I kind of ruined it, but you can't really tell. But there is like a stain like right here and right here that I can't get out. But sometimes we just got to give these animals some time. Yeah, you just got to be patient. I'm definitely not short on patience. Like, sometimes I run out of patience, but for the most part, I feel like I'm a pretty patient person. Barbara, what's going on? What is up, Barbara Jackson? Your dog might be eating dirt because he is lacking some type of mineral. My mom told me that. My brother used to eat dirt as a toddler. I knew a couple people that ate dirt when I was a young kid too, and I was like, well, what are you guys doing? You should be eating grass. The grass tastes way better. I mean, it's certainly true. I don't know what mineral they would be needing in dirt. But I've never had like bad blood work on the dogs, knock on wood, yet. Anyone watch the Dog Daddy on YouTube or TikTok? Never heard of him. Supposedly, pregnant women will get weird cravings for dirt or clay. I never did, but it was in the books I read. You know, that might be something that I need to look into, because I don't really have dirt. I have clay. If you go about 6 inches under the grass, it's all clay. Maybe I'll do some research on that. But he doesn't eat it like he eats food. He eats it like he's playing with it. So he'll get like a clump and he'll spit it. You know, he'll throw it up in the air. He kind of plays with it, but he also kind of eats. It's hard to describe. It'd be like, I don't know, like cats play with their food, right? I don't know. I don't know. It's weird. He's a weird dude. Weird dude. He was also like really malnourished and starved. Like he was all skin and bone when he got picked up by the shelter. So maybe he ate dirt just out of being starved to death. And maybe it just stuck with him. I don't know. Bob, have you been able to volunteer? Are you still doing the drive for the shelter? I believe it was around the holidays. I'd like to donate if you are. Not this year. I'm not. I just don't have the time. Especially my shoulder surgery set me back quite a while on building my little shack. So yeah, I'm really I was really hustling to try to get it finished before the snow. But that didn't happen, and now there's a lot of things I can't do because of the snow. But I just don't have the time this year. Got seed shrimp issues in my shrimp tank. Any suggestions on how to curb the population? You just throw in some rainbow fish, right? Throw in something that'll eat them. I don't know that I do rainbow fish, but I would do. What would I do? I would definitely throw a fish in there to eat them. probably, what would I do? I'd want something that I would want a fish that eats a lot, but is also small enough that it's not going to destroy your shrimp population. I would probably go with some kind of barb, like maybe a barb around like the 3-inch mark, 2.5, 3-inch mark. I think that would be my first plan of attack. Have I heard of a raw dog food company called Small Batch? Nope. I think they are based in either Washington or now, and based in Washington now and was in Oregon before, or vice versa. No. I briefly looked into raw dog food companies, but it was so expensive, and shipping, like getting that stuff shipped. You know, you have to have the card, or not the cardboard, the styrofoam boxes, ice packs, overnight shipping. It was just so expensive. It was just easier to get it from my butcher. And I still think, like, so there's basically like two types of feeding dogs raw food. So you either just feed them like all meat, and then you get them vitamins to supplement, like some type of daily vitamin, or you feed them raw meat, and then you feed them like the vegetables and the fruits to get those vitamins. And a lot of people just go like all meat, and then I'm going to give them like a tablet for their vitamins every day. But I don't really trust vitamin companies that much. Like, there's a lot of them out there that have been busted for not having what's on their nutrition label, like being way below what they have on their nutrition label. So I don't know. I don't really trust them that much. Now what? Oh, my alarm's, oh shoot, it's already 4:40. What the heck? It's already been over an hour. Also, when's the next camp? I have no idea, my friend. No idea. I will say it's not looking good for another camp video anytime in the near future. Being like, I have no idea. Like, I mean, I go, like, I camp, but like, nobody wants to watch just me camp by myself. That's stupid. Plus, I'm terrible at filming and editing that stuff, so I have like no desire to do it by myself. Yes, the red hat, it shall be received by me via next day air. Thank you, Bob. Very kind of you, good sir. Wait, what? Red hat? Dwarf chain loach versus yo-yo loach. Compare and contrast. Yo-yo loaches get way bigger. Like, way bigger. I mean, we're talking like 5 inches, give or take an inch, and just way bigger bodied. Dwarf chain loaches are much, much smaller. Otherwise, very similar. Similar behavior, similar care, similar, you know, they'll both eat all your snails, things like that. One is just way bigger. They're not like some of these loaches that get like 12, 14, 18 inches. But they're a good 5-6 inches full grown. I have one left out of my school that's full grown, and it's big. It's pretty big and fat. The biggest caveat I have with strictly raw diet, especially when you have dogs to feed. Wait, what? Oh, you're not talking to me. That's all right. I'd camp with you, but I'm not filming either. Like, yeah. Corey and I almost went a couple weeks ago, but we just he messaged me like at noon, and he's like, let's go camping tomorrow. And I was like, okay, let's go. And I was like, oh shoot, I got physical therapy. That's the closest we've come. It was like, everyone's just crazy busy. I mean, you can imagine, he runs a retail operation, and it's that time of year, so whatever. We'll get out there sometime. I just don't see it being anywhere in the near future. Susan says, I miss my yo-yo loaches. You're right, full grown, 5.5, maybe even 6. Who knows? Like, they get big. Is this a member stream? This is a members I set it up wrong again. I don't think it's me. I think it's YouTube, because I set this up as members only, but anyone with the link can watch. So I'm not sure how that works, but only members can chat. Teardrop gobies at Dan's Fish, $50. Is it worth it? I will say only you can answer that now. Only you can answer that for you. Like, I don't know. Are you a millionaire? If you're a billionaire, probably worth it, right? I will say they are amazing fish. When I was there in person, I caught myself like at that tank more than the Cory tanks, more than the rainbow tanks. Like, the teardrop gobies are freaking sweet. But are they worth $50? Again, only you can answer that. Like, I don't know. Isn't Cory in Hawaii now? Yeah, with his wife. So, like, I'm not about to like interfere with wife duties, right? So the guy's allowed to take a vacation every couple years, I suppose. She deserves it. He deserves it. So Jimmy and you should just travel the world and film it. Jimmy has like 18 jobs right now. I think if we were to go camping, I would ask him, but I'm sure it would just end up being Cory and I, because Jimmy is all over the place right now. But anyways, I got to shut this down. I got 15 minutes to get the dogs out, get a little food in my gullet, and then start the next stream. So all the lurkers that couldn't talk, thanks. I appreciate it. And members, of course, thank you so much. And I'll hopefully see you all in about 15 minutes. Save your questions, and I'll answer them or get them answered in the next stream. All right.